A coalition of civil society organizations in Abuja, under the auspices of the Situation Room, is condemning the action of the DSS and calling on the acting president to direct security agencies to stay away from unlawful activities henceforth.
The Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room notes with serious concern the growing attack on constitutionalism in Nigeria and brazen acts of impunity by elected officials, especially in the executive. In the last 1 month, a magistrate court was sacked, disobedience of court orders was justified by the Attorney General, and there are growing cases of high-handedness by security officials. These events point to a despotic democracy and a gradual decline of Nigeria to a state of anarchy. The Nigeria Civil Society Situation condemns as despicable and a serious threat to Nigeria's democracy the actions of the Department of State Security, DSS, Nigeria Police, and security forces in barricading the gates of the National Assembly and preventing the functioning of an independent arm of government. These actions are unconstitutional and negates Nigeria's democratic development, putting almost 20 years of Nigeria's fourth republic in great crisis and danger. Nigeria's constitution, laws, and the National Assembly rules define clear procedures for removal of presiding officers. Seeking to forcibly and violently interfere with the leadership of the National Assembly points to dictatorship. Civil society and non-governmental organizations, NGOs, fought very hard against the military dictatorship that seized Nigeria in December 1983 in a coup led by General Muhammadu Buhari and enthroned democracy in that fight in 1999. It is our concern that today's barricade of the National Assembly represents a series of undemocratic actions by the executive arm of government that poses major questions about Nigeria's practice of democracy. This falls into a growing list of deliberate attempts to undermine the constitutional order by the government. We note that there are several actions that point to some of these issues, and we can list a whole lot of them. And we call on the acting president, Yemi Osinbajo, to direct all security agencies in Nigeria to pull back and remain permanently out of the premises of the National Assembly. That's right. Situation will also be seeking a meeting with the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, to demand assurances that security forces will respect the institutions of democracy and claw back from the atmosphere of fear and dictatorship that has now entered into our democratic space.
The Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has also been speaking, condemning the actions of the DSS. In a statement released on Tuesday, the NBA describes the action as unconstitutional and a threat to Nigeria's democracy. It also called on the military, the Nigeria Police, and the Department of State Services and all security agencies not to engage in unconstitutional operations or allow themselves to be dragged into partisan politics. The NBA says it will continue to monitor the situation and will not hesitate to take action in defense of Nigeria's democracy. A day after the siege, the Senate President holds a World Press Conference to address the incident in the presence of the Speaker of the House of Representatives and other lawmakers. But once again, there is no APC lawmaker in sight.
Enough with impunity. Enough with reckless and senseless deployment of militaristic force. Enough. In this dark cloud, we can see the silver lining. And that silver lining is a commitment of Nigerians to defending the hard-won democracy. I am more than encouraged by the strength, the determination, and the resolve of ordinary Nigerians to see that the democracy survives and thrives in this country. I'm also strengthened by the determination of the media to report and analyze the truth as they see it. I want to reassure Nigerians that on our part, we will remain committed to working for a country governed by the rule of law. Our desire is to have a society where there will be equity and justice, not oppression. We stand committed in doing our utmost as lawmakers to ensure that the responsibility and functionality of government are met. Although we are on annual break, we are daily reviewing issues that need our attention. Unfortunately, yesterday, shutdown prevented us from meeting with INEC to review their request. We will continue to look into this matter, and in the spirit of ensuring that we do all that is necessary to see that we have a successful and smooth election, we will take whatever necessary actions that is required for us to move this forward.
He responds to questions from members of the press on allegations against him being the mastermind of the incident and whether he would relinquish his position as Senate President, as is being canvassed by members of his former party, the APC.
I was not given. I was elected by a member. So I think it's important. Secondly, according to our constitution, it says that the members of the National Assembly, who so wish as a member, it does not say that you have to come from a political party. The whole plan here, as I said, this was planned for months. And those that came here early in the night heard the officers said, we have a list of those that should be given access to come in. The plan was for a number of certain APC members, lawmakers in the Senate, to be given the access. They had a list. That was why when members arrived here, whose name were not on that list, were not allowed to get in. And the reason why they were not here, as you all know, is that they were holding a meeting somewhere else. And their plan was to go from there to arrive here. They had had a meeting last night. Unfortunately for them, it was inconclusive. If the meeting last night, at night before, had been conclusive, they would have been here as early as 8 in the morning. Now, the funny question I'm hearing is that the director of SSS reports to me, and the IG reports to me. This is the IG, and they all report to me. Nigerians are not fools, and I think that's an insult to integrity of all of us. Executive, from last year, they knew there was going to be a budget. Why wasn't it included in the 2018 budget? Okay, after you submitted the 2018 budget, you had December, you had January, you had February, you had March, you had April, you had May, you had June. And there's no sense. So to say today that National Assembly is the one that does not want election is not true. And I want to reassure you on that. And any other matter that is important that needs to be addressed, we will do it. The first electoral bill we sent to the president, we had the issue of changing the sequence of election. And we had about 3 other issues. Mr. President wrote back to us and said, of these 3 issues, I agree to the first 2, but on change of sequence of election, I don't agree. In our own wisdom and in the interest of moving this country forward, we said, okay, fine, we will do what you want. We've now done an amendment where we have taken out the sequence of election and done exactly what he had asked for and sent it to him. And that's the one we're saying, and now we've done what you've asked for. Kindly sign so that we can move forward and have a stronger way.
Afterwards, the leadership of the National Assembly meets with the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC Chairman, Mr. Mahmoud Yakubu. The meeting was originally scheduled to hold the previous day, but was cancelled due to the blockade of the National Assembly complex. The INEC Chairman emerges after the meeting with some positive news.
The most important thing to tell you arising from this meeting is that INEC was invited to meet with the joint leadership of the National Assembly on how the proposed budget for the 2019 elections can be speedily considered and appropriated by the National Assembly. We are very happy with the meeting, and we have been assured that this will be granted expeditious consideration, perhaps as early as next week. We have 191 days from today to the 2019 general elections, and once there is appropriation, there shouldn't be any problem for us meeting our commitments for the 2019 general elections. The component to INEC is 189 billion, but the total amount appropriated or the total amount proposed is 242 billion, but that includes cost to security. But the cost to the Electoral Commission is 189 billion naira.
If it need be, we resume to consider this supplementary budget and the environment request of Mr. President, because we are all interested in ensuring that there's a free, fair and credible elections in 2019. So we've discussed and we are agreeing that we'll fix a date where we can resume to consider this budget and ensure passage.